live,
Yeah, do a
everybody.
countdown.
Hello,
We've never done this before.
hello.
We
How
still
are
need
we
a
doing?
countdown.
Are we all doing good? Can you hear us? I forgot to put the music
I'm
on.
back. What music? Fuck it.
Oh, that's the Travis Scott album. Hold on, we're good. We're good. There we go. There's some lo-fi for everyone. How are we doing today? Are we all zen?
Zen.
Well, we were gonna make the title something different, but Scott vetoed it at the last minute, and so I couldn't make it the title.
Actually, you vetoed it at
Well,
the last minute.
Yeah.
Bryce, would you like to explain what the title was?
The
going to
title
be?
was gonna be So Scott and I have a Fitbit. Scott has one too, and we get our steps in every day, and we track our steps. And everyone I know, all my friends are righties, and so they wear. I'm a lefty, so my Fitbit's on my left hand. Well, I have to take my Fitbit off if I'm going to jerk off, because I'm a lefty, and it counts my steps. And that's cheating. So the title was going to be, I can't jerk off with my Fitbit on.
You got scared when I turned around yesterday.
That is true. I almost re-broke my ankle.
You're very jumpy. You're a jumpy guy.
I am a very jumpy person. That is one thing. People, if they meet me in person, I hope they don't realize about me, is that if I am not prepared to speak, or if I am like looking the other way or something, and you say, I am scared of the world. I don't know how to describe it. It's not really like a fear thing. It's just for some reason I get really startled.
You've been looking right at me before, and I've said something and it scared you. Like you were looking right at me. I spoke and you go, huh? Your Amy put it really succinctly when she said that you were the human version of Thor.
Yeah.
I wish I could explain Thor. I wish that I could explain to people what he's like, but I just don't think it's possible. I've known Bryce since I've had this dog, and I've tried to explain him, but I don't think that Bryce really got it until he met him.
He loves me.
Got to spend time with him. That's true.
Thor fucking
you let him bite your hands.
Yeah, he bites my hands. Well, it's weird when I say he loves me and then I start with he bites my hands. But he really that's like a thing he does. Like he kind of has this thing where like the dark passenger in him takes over. And like he'll be totally nice and normal, and then he wants to play, and he loses all sight of what the world is like. He starts like biting and scratching, and he goes crazy. But if he thinks or realizes he hurts you once, it ruins tonight. Like, so you really have to pretend he's not biting the shit out of your hand. It's really funny because he has three phases during the dark passenger mode. He has going crazy, which is kind of like the zoomies, but imagine if the zoomies, instead of running around, it was biting your hand, and it's kind of like he's biting your hand, and you're like shaking your hand, like throwing them back and forth, and like he kind of like, that's the only way I can think to describe it. Then there's the licking phase, which is where he thinks he's hurt you, and so he just starts licking you over and over and over, and he will not stop until you reactivate the playing moves phase. And by reactivate, I mean you put your hand back in his mouth, and you start to shake your arm again, and he starts to go crazy again. Then there's the third phase. This is not a specific phase. It is spliced in randomly. So he'll be biting you, and then he starts humping you furiously. He just has to get it out of him. And then you shake your arm, and then you get him off, and he licks you. And then he goes from licking to humping. Like he's like, it's very strange. He'll be in the middle of like biting and playing, and all of a sudden he's like, holy shit! And he goes, and he like starts like humping you like crazy, and you gotta like get him off. He's a good dog.
There are also times where you'll tell him to stop, and you can tell that he's trying. Like, he's making every effort in his body to not do it, but he's just like shaking.
He'll literally sit there shaking, like looking, and you can tell he wants to be a good dog so bad. Like he doesn't want to get in trouble. But the problem is if you upset the balance even the slightest bit, it's you've undone all the progress in settling him down.
Also, Thor, this is the Thor episode of the stream. He's really stubborn about like everything. Even if sometimes he'll make up his mind that he wants to walk a certain path. Like he wants to walk in between the couch and like somebody's legs. And if he can't do it, he just sits there and fucking whines.
There's a really funny situation. This is the best. One time he was at my house, and me and my Amy were on the couch, and this is right after I broke my ankle. and the coffee table was in front of us. And our feet were, on the floor, so it was like there wasn't really much room to walk. And he decided that instead of walking around the coffee table, he wanted to walk in front of our feet and between the coffee table. And this is like what he had decided. And there was no, he just like, he tried, he like literally bumped his head into my legs a few times, and he like sat there and he's like, if you attempt to make any adjustment to help him, it actually only pisses him off. So if you go, okay, I know he wouldn't want to walk around the table, I'm gonna move the coffee table so he has more room. That he doesn't like that. That's like, it's like you're triggering some kind of like, what, do you think I can't do it in him? And so in this time, I remember like Miami raised her legs up and I raised my legs up and I start to push the coffee table, and he was like, no. And he just ran through it as quick as he could and just slammed his head into my fucking broken ankle and just like barreled past. Just did not, it was like he had to get out before I helped him. And then he just ran away. He also,
he's a good dog.
Some other quirks of him that I've learned. Let me see if I can, I'm going to just try and name Thor quirks, Scott. Okay. So he likes doors being open to the point where if he comes over my house, first thing he has to do is he has to go upstairs and open all my doors. If he cannot open one of our doors, he sits there and cries until someone comes up and opens one of the doors for him. I don't know why. 2, he will not eat if the door next to him is not open. Like Scott's office is next to where his food bowl is. True. So if you give him food, he won't eat. I'm trying to think. There are more. He eats grass, but that's a more common dog thing. Oh, another one.
I've seen him eat grass and poop at the same time. That's a really funny visual.
This is one thing that I feel like I've experienced more than Scott, just because of how many times he has to run up the steps first. If you bring him in, or if you like come down, he will say, like when me and Amy come in to Scott's house, because the entrance to Scott's house, there's a big set of stairs that take you all the way at the top. So he'll run all the way down to greet us. Half the time he'll fall. Because he has like no like hand paw coordination. And like he'll run all the way down, he'll get to us and be like, oh my god, you guys are here, I'm so excited. He'll run behind us and be like, oh my god, I'm so excited. And then he'll run all the way upstairs. Like he'll like sprint past us to the point where if I'm trying to walk, if there's not enough room, he'll just do that thing where he's made up his mind and he'll just push past us and just go all the way up top. And he's scared of the trash can.
Yeah, that's the one I was trying to think of. I have this trash can in my kitchen, and it has an electric lid. So you like hover over it, and it opens automatically. And it's pretty tight. For some reason, he is terrified of this lid. Like sometimes I'll, like if I'm changing the garbage bag, I'll put it in the floor. He won't walk by it. The layout is like, so you have a bar here. The wall's here. You have like a bar. This is the kitchen area. Like this is the sink and whatnot. This is the living room, and my couch is right here. Okay, the trash can goes right here. Sometimes I'll take the lid off and put it right here while I'm changing the trash can lid. And so Thor, he will not walk this way. He will stop right here and just cry because the lid is right here. And he's afraid that if he walks by it, it'll open automatically. I've actually seen him when we go over to Bryce's house, he will stop and he won't walk near Bryce's trash can because he doesn't know that Bryce's isn't electric.
Here, I'll talk about another time I got scared. My dad brings this one up all the time. This is like my dad's like embarrassing Bryce story that he loves to tell. But one time when I was a kid, when I was up there like the farm with him, he was taking me outside. And he was like, I want to show you this cool thing I found. And I guess this was like a father being like, son, look, here's a boy thing that you'll like. And he was showing me like a snake had shed its skin and left its skin on the ground. Well, he showed it to me. And he's like, look, isn't this cool? And he said he looked back. And I had ran all the way home. because I thought it was a snake. And so he showed it to me and he crouched down to like grab it and show it to me. And then he said when he looked back, I was in the door of the house. Like I'd bolted all the way across the field back home.
God damn.
Did you ever play Jake the Snake in school?
No.
Okay, so I don't know if that's what it's called, but that's what we called it. And okay, I'm gonna tell this, and it's gonna sound like I'm making some kind of joke or innuendo, but I'm being serious. So my gym teacher used to have this thing that he would call Jake the Snake that he would pull out. And it was
whoa. Can we talk about this on stream?
So he would go into like the gym's closet, and he would come back with, it was a ball with a rope tied around it, and he would stand in the, this is like elementary school, he would stand in the middle of all of us, he'd make us stand in a circle, and he would swing the ball around, and you had to jump over it. And if you didn't, you just got fucking hit by it and you fell and you were out. I don't actually remember. But I think that's what happened. But that was the game. It was like the last person that didn't get hit by Jake the Snake won. Did anyone else do this?
I think that your gym teacher just beat the shit out of.
Did anyone else
kids?
play with Jake the Snake? Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
This. I have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll keep it to myself. And I just remember when he used to be like, "Kids, you want to play?" Because it wouldn't be like, you know, like we would do like our football.
Was it like a punishment?
No, it was like, hey, we finished our football or baseball or whatever we're playing early for the day. You kids want to play around at Jake the Snake before you leave? And we'd all be like, yeah. I have a weird track record with gym teachers. My middle school gym teacher got pregnant and had to leave because we had this like, so our middle school situation was weird. We had like a really old male.
That was
teacher.
your weird experience. Hold on, that was your weird experience.
Well, hold on.
She
like,
got pregnant.
Hold on. I can't fucking tell the experience if you keep fucking talking. Sorry. So we had a female teacher and we had a male teacher, and the male teacher was very old. I don't remember anything about him except for one random little thing where one time I remember I was okay, actually this well, I don't know. I feel like now that I think about this, it's kind of a weird thing to dig up, but I do remember one time I was changing and he walked up to me and he was like, "You know, Bryce, you're looking pretty good." And I was like, "Okay." And he walked away. I don't know. I just remember that. That's my only memory of him. But anyway, now that I think about it, it's kind of weird. But anyway.
The fuck?
Yeah, I don't know. I just randomly dug that up. But anyway, we had this younger male teacher that appeared for like a week. I don't remember why he was there. I don't remember what his purpose was. But he was like the assistant male teacher who would teach us boys. I don't know. And he was there for a week. And he got the girl teacher pregnant, and so they both had to go. So
these are some complex feelings. Maybe we need to dig into these after stream.
No, I'm okay. I don't want to dig any further.
You don't know what you're gonna uncover?
Yeah. In gym class, I saw my first fight in 6th grade gym class. There were 2 kids, and we were playing. We played something in gym. I don't remember what. It was like football or basketball or something. And I remember they were standing there and they were like, "Bro, you fucked up during that game." And this guy was like, "Bro, you fucked up during that game." And they just kind of had like a gentleman's agreement. Like, I don't want to say, they were just kind of like, "We fight?" And he was like, "We fight." And they just beat the shit out of each other for like 2 minutes. I mean, it was literally like rolled their sleeves up, like, and just like punch, broke each other's fucking noses, blood everywhere. And then afterwards, we're just like, cool. And just walked away and just both got suspended. It was crazy. I've seen many fights in my school time. I saw many people go crazy and beat the shit out of each other. But this was like, I swear to God, it was like a duel. Like, it was like they both agreed. I swear to God, they might have shaken hands. I don't remember. I just remember so vividly because I saw it. I was like, is this how fights are? This is what fights are like in school? And then like a week later, I watched 2 girls throw desks at each other and fucking tackle each other, and it was very, very different. It taught me that that's not what fights are. I think I've told that one of my favorite fight stories of all time is I remember I was waiting in middle school. I was waiting to go into school, and there was this girl standing outside, like talking, doing whatever, and this car pulls up. I mean, like pulls up, peels wheels into the thing, and the back door flies open, and this girl gets out, and her dad is like, beat her ass, and this girl walks up, throws her binder down. These 2 girls beat the shit out of each other, and then she just gets back in the car, and her dad's like, yeah, and they pull off. I don't know, it always stuck with me because it was so like everyone cheered, like it was really World Star. I don't know, everyone was like, yeah. You know, I have a fear. I don't know if I've ever talked about it. I have an inherent fear. You know, like those like old finger trap toys? Where you put your fingers in both ends, they get stuck. Well, one time as a kid, I did that, and I couldn't get out. I was trapped. And so that's like, I've learned from that moment, that's like one of my biggest fears, like having something stuck in something. That's like one of my biggest fears, is getting my finger stuck in something or doing something like that. That's why I don't wear rings, because I'm terrified of getting a ring stuck on my finger or something like that. I don't know, it's one of my biggest fears in life. So that's a random little piece of trivia for everyone.
You're such a weird fucking guy.
Yeah, and it's all because that time when I was a kid where I got my finger stuck in one of those little toy traps.